All right. Welcome everyone to our Talk Text Train virtual series on November 28, 2023. Today's session is going to get into the RealSam Pocket phone training offered by Carmen. And before we get started in the training, I would like to hand it over to Jane to give us sort of a brief overview of where we are, and then a few more updates, and then we'll get started with the session.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, everybody just remember, as usual, we want to stay off the chat and hold any questions till the end. When Carmen, when you're ready, you can let us know. And at that point, Vishnu will call on people to voice their questions. We do want to ask that if you are sharing screens with other people, please do make sure towards the end of the presentation, before we get off, to put your name in the chat so that we can check you for attendance. And I know that Vishnu's team is working on the YouTube videos to be released of the recordings of our past sessions, and we'll probably get some updates about that before we end. But Carmen, thank you. And I think Vishnu, if you're all set, we'll just turn it over to you and get going with the RealSam.
All right. Just a quick update. I know some of you have been inquiring about different sessions that were done so far in the series. In case if anyone did miss and wanted to watch them later, we will be making them available on our Marylanders online website, which will also then take you on the YouTube link. There will be transcripts involved, included as well. So, and I think by the end of this week, we should have all of those videos available. But I will definitely keep you all posted latest by next Tuesday and share the link. Again, you will receive the link to access those videos as a follow-up email from Jane. So be on the lookout for those follow-up emails, which she very diligently sends them after every single session. And please continue taking those surveys. Your feedback is very important to us, so that we can continuously keep working on improvising and adding to this program. And thank you all for your help and support. And over to you, Carmen.
Thank you, Vishnu, Jane, and everyone. Thank you for attending. I imagine I probably met some of you back in September. Okay. I imagine we probably met back in September, so nice to see you again. I'm gonna talk about the RealSam Pocket. By this point, I imagine that everybody has had a RealSam Pocket in their bag and has been able to play with it a little bit. So I'm gonna skip a little bit of the introduction about the phone and where all the buttons are. If that is not okay, Vishnu or Jane, if you can let me know. Otherwise, I am going.
Sorry to interrupt, but because we are recording this session, and maybe sometimes people might be doing it the first time, or they may not remember from the session. So if you could actually do go into and give a brief overview of all the buttons and where they are, I think that would be helpful.
Yeah, okay. Definitely. And also just a review of SIM card information too would be very helpful. Thank you, Carmen.
You're welcome. So this is RealSam Pocket. We call it Pocket for short, as a little pet name. But RealSam Pocket is an Android phone where we install our proprietary software. And it's very simple to use. This is right now the one I have is an Android A14. It has a camera up at the top in the middle. Then when we start going down, what right here would be, if I'm facing the phone towards the screen, would be the right side. I have a spot right here where the SIM card would go. Then if I keep scrolling with my finger all the way to the bottom, then we have a place where we can put our charging cable and also a wired headset. As we continue with our finger towards the left side and go up, we feel there's an elongated button right here. And that button is used to power the phone off or to just basically freeze the screen so that if the phone is in a pocket, in a purse, somewhere, the phone does not get activated.
Carmen, sorry to interrupt you, but just to let you know and let our participants know, most likely your RealSam is in a case, so you might not feel the SIM card drawer on the left side,
Mhm.
the upper left side. Just an FYI. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you. That's a really good point, Jane. However, having the case on, you're going to feel everything else a lot more because the case is going to, in a way, emphasize these buttons. So you're going to be able to really feel where the space is for the power button and for the volume up and volume down. On the back of the phone, we have 3 different cameras and a flash. Okay. RealSam Pocket comes unlocked. So you can use it with any service provider in the United States. They all work with us. And all you have to do is just get a SIM card, put it in the Pocket. Most of the A14s just have one single slot for the SIM card, which is great because the previous versions had a couple slots, and sometimes people would wonder where to put the SIM card. So in case in the future, in case there is an issue with that, we're going to be including very shortly a card with every phone, and it's going to talk about the do's and don'ts of adding a SIM card, visiting a cell phone store or cell phone provider to be able to get a SIM card and what you would need. This is just in case the person that you talk to at a store does not really realize what you have. They may have never seen the phone before. So this is in the hopes of making things a little bit easier. And we also include a contact for customer support if you guys have any questions. Okay. So RealSam Pocket, what's the whole idea behind it? We wanted a phone that was simple to use, that screen was not cluttered with anything, and that the voice commands were simple to use. We have heard from different people that some of the other phones out there might be a little complicated, a little bit overwhelming. So that's where RealSam Pocket comes in. So in the front of the phone on the screen, this is a touch screen. We have a really big button at the bottom, and it's a flat screen. So when I say a button, it's not an official button, tactile button. It's just part of the screen. But the bottom third of the screen says tap to talk. And the tap to talk, that is going to be the button that we use the most on our phone. Okay. I'm going to go over that in a minute, but also at the top right, as the phone is facing the screen, top right, we have 3 different lines that we call the hamburger menu. And the hamburger menu, we use it to go into just the standard menu if you wanted to just do it manually versus doing it by voice. So I did get a question one time or a suggestion said, hey, you know, it's sometimes hard to go all the way to the bottom and do the L. So I just want to clarify something for everyone out there, that if you're going to do the L menu to go into the phone's menu, all you have to do is hold it, and anywhere past the middle,
Showing main menu, move your finger around the
you
screen
can
to tell
move
you where
it.
the item. Exiting menu.
Excuse me, to finalize the L to go across the screen. That time of year here in Colorado, to go across the screen, and you will be able to complete the L menu. So if you're talking to some of your clients, some of your users, and they're not comfortable with going all the way down, as long as they're somewhere below or they're in the bottom half of the screen, they can move their finger across and finalize that L menu. Okay. So what is one of our, why do we say that it's really easy to use our phone? Because we just tap to talk. So I'm just going to tap on it and I'm going to ask it to call me. My name's already on the phone. So I'm just going to tap and say, call Carmen.
No, you have a new message. Say, read messages. To read. What did you say again?
Call Carmen.
Calling Carmen. Press the side button to cancel.
So here it is, it's calling me. So it's as simple as that. On the call screen, at the bottom third, there is a big red button, virtual button as well. And that's what's used to cancel the call. I believe on the screen looks a little bit orangey, but that's what we use.
Hang up. The call was ended.
Okay. So it's as simple as that. Now, that it was easy because my name was already in the contact list. So how do I add a contact to the RealSam phone? It's also very easy. I'm just going to tap, and I can do it several ways. I can tap and just say add contact, say the name of the contact and the phone number, or just do it by parts. I'm going to just do it by parts because, you know, we don't always remember somebody's phone number. So we need a minute to think about it. So I'm going to kind of think of who, because I never like to add normal names. Add contact.
Please say the name or number. Or both. For the contact. Or say cancel.
So it's asking me to say the name or the number. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tap again and I'm going to respond to that. James Bond.
Please say the number for James Bond. Or say go back. Or cancel.
007 007 0007.
Contact save. Contact. Name.
James Bond.
Number.
00700700007.
You can call, text, change name, change number, or delete.
It's as easy as that. To add a contact to the RealSam Pocket. So I could have just said it like I mentioned before, I could have just said at contact James Bond 007 and done the whole thing. But I find that most people do need a moment to realize really what they're saying, and kind of having the phone waiting for them stresses them out. I completely understand. So that's one good way of adding a contact. As we've been told, in some cases, adding contacts is not the easiest to do with other phones. And that's one of the reasons why people struggle with normal phones as it is. So adding a contact is great. So now that we have the contact there, I could tap and just say, call James Bond. Or what if I wanted to send James Bond a text message? I can tap, send message.
What do you want the message to say?
Where's the helicopter?
Who do you want to send it to? Now press the volume up button within 5 seconds to enter Wi-Fi configuration.
James Bond.
Your text message to James Bond says, where the helicopter? Do you want to send it? Say, yes.
Yes.
Returning to message sent. Returning to contact. Name,
James Bond.
number.
00700700007.
You can call, text, change name, change number, or delete. Text message received.
Now I received a text message. I know it's saying that that was an incorrect number, but there are a lot of things that I wanted to show you from that demonstration. One is when you're going to send a text message, all you have to do is just tap and say send message, send a text message. You can just say it in different ways. A lot of those ways are going to be included in the list that I'm going to send Jane. My personal preference is that you usually find one or two ways that you like to communicate with the phone and just use those commands. But there's several there for, for people's liking. So also something that is very important. A lot of people do, when they tap and say send message and the phone says, who do you want to send a message to? At this point, they would like to have a conversation with the phone. But all the phone is listening for is, who do you want to send a text message to? So I would encourage everyone to just tap and just say the name of the recipient of the text message. The phone's going to walk every user through every step and request all the information that it needs. So in this case, it was, who do you want to send it to? And what is the message? What do you want to say? And all I have to do is tap on the tap to talk before I respond to every one of those questions. Okay. Normally I would ask you guys questions in this point, but we're going to continue on. Now, the next part is receiving a text message. So what do I do to read a text message? So I just tap and say, read messages.
You have 2 new messages and 1 old message. 1. Unread.
17007.
2 minutes ago. From +11216116111. 2. Unread.
Your messenger verification code is
On 26 November. From 244444444. Say 1 or 2 or words from the options to listen to your sent messages.
So I want to listen to the first one.
4. For a list of old messages. Say, Old messages.
Number 1.
Unread. 170070007 error invalid number. Please resend using a valid 10-digit mobile number or valid short code. Where the helicopter? 2 minutes ago from +112161.
Delete.
Message successfully deleted. What now? Unread. Your messenger.
Exit.
No problem. Let's start again.
So I was able to listen to a preview of all my text messages, and I was able to select which one I wanted to listen to. And then once I was done with it, I deleted. I am a lot of times when I'm doing these demonstrations, I will have text messages and they will pile up because I forget to delete them. I'll move on to something else, but I could go back and ask it to list all my text messages and then go in and delete the ones that I no longer want. So sending a text message is very easy. Reading a text message is very easy. Adding a contact is very easy, and making a call. So these are the basic features of a phone as we know them, well, as we used to know them, because nowadays kids' phones are not made for phone calls. But so from there, what are we going to do? I'm going to show you what some of these menus, these contact menus look like. Oh, somebody raised their hand. Can we?
Do you want to take the question later, or do you want to take it now?
Well, does the question have to do with what I just went over?
I'm not sure. Marguerite, do you want to briefly describe?
Yeah, it's about how do you save a contact when somebody calls you and the number is there without having to say the number?
Okay, so one of the things you can do, and that's a very good question, is when you have received a call, then you can go back to the screen and you can say recent calls or recent incoming calls, and it's going to highlight the different numbers that called you. And once you find the one that you want to save, it will prompt you to saving that number and adding it as a contact. Did I answer your question?
Yes, you did. Thank you.
Okay. I'm not gonna go through saving it, but I just wanna do recent calls.
Your recent calls. First 5 of 36. 1. 11 minutes ago. Outbound to Carmen. 2. 32 minutes ago. Outbound to Carmen. 3. On 23.
Exit.
Cancel. Happy to talk again whenever you like.
I call myself a lot. So that was a very, very good question, because that's usually something that I don't cover, but I do know that that is very important. Now, I was going to go on to the L menu. So at the top, about, I don't know, what is it, less than an inch down from the top, you have the L menu, and you can just touch at the top of the, I keep thinking the right side of the phone as the phone is facing the screen. And you're going to scroll down, you're going to keep your finger on the screen, and then somewhere past the middle,
Your finger around the screen until you hear the item you want and then release.
you're going to cross to make the L. So before, we thought we just had to go all the way down with our finger and all the way at the bottom, cross over to make the L. And turns out that that's not necessary. You can do that. It actually allows you for a bigger margin of error, if that's a way of saying it. On this screen, we're going to find the main menu. And what we do with the main menu is, as I scroll through the main menu with my finger, it's going to tell me what menu is there, or what's,
That's maximum volume.
or what, it's going to highlight the different tabs so I can decide what I want.
Call contact. Call number. Settings. Help and support. Assistance call. Turn on outdoor locations. Power off. Done. It's call contact. Showing contacts menu.
So I went to the contacts menu and I have different contacts on here. Let's say I just want to call one of the contacts and I don't know where it is.
No action. Add guys. Brad Pitt. Carmen. George Clooney. Messages. Mickey Mouse. Tile done.
I feel like I want to call George
Add
Clooney.
Brad Carmen. George Clooney. Calling. Press the side button to cancel. To place a call in this area, you must dial.
Well,
Call was ended.
I made up his number anyway, so that's why the call didn't go through. But if I was looking for a specific number, I could scroll down, and as I hear the number that I want, I can just lift my finger and it's going to dial that number. Once again, we're returning to
Showing main menu. Move your finger around the screen until you hear the item you want and then release.
Once again, we're returning to the main menu, and I just want to be able to dial a number just using the dial pad.
Call number.
So I'm going to lift my finger from the call number and I'm going to get a dial pad, and then I'm going to
3,
scroll.
2, 1, 4, 7, 5, 6.
And when I get to the number I want, once again, I lift.
6, 5, 4, 4, 3, 5,
5,
So on and so forth until we get to the full number, and then we can dial. However, if we don't want to
No
do
action.
it,
Showing main menu. Exiting menu.
if we don't want to make a call that way, but we just want to tap to talk, have it call a number that is not on our contact list, we can do it. I'm just going to make up a number once again. Call 970-222-3333.
Calling 970-222-3333. Press the side button to cancel.
So
The call was ended.
I wanted to cancel it. I have no idea whose phone that belongs to, but it's as easy as that. So you can either add contacts to your contact list, you can add contacts from recent calls, or you can just call a number by tapping tap to talk and just letting it know which number you want to call. Okay. I'm going to move on to other features, though there's a lot of different options and variations of what I just talked about, and I'm going to send that to you, Jane. But I'm going to move on to tools unless somebody has a question regarding calls. Nope. Okay. So tools. RealSam has several tools that are useful for somebody. So the number one useful tool that we have is we have BeMyEyes, and BeMyEyes has been incorporated into our phone. It's not an app. You don't have to find an app and do anything. All you have to do is tap to talk and just say BeMyEyes. I don't know if you guys are noticing a little bit of a trend here, but with RealSam, It's very simple. You just tap and you just tell it what you want it to do. You don't have to give it a whole explanation. If you want to make a call, you tap and say, make a call. If you want to send a message, tap and say, send message. If you want Be My Eyes, you tap and you say, Be My Eyes. You don't have to go into further detail with the phone. It will know exactly what you want. As a matter of fact, I would suggest that the simpler the command, the better it is. So, Be My Eyes, if it's the first time that you are using Be My Eyes, there's going to be some terms and conditions that you need to accept. But other than that, it should be ready to go. Be My Eyes.
Starting Be My Eyes. Please wait.
I'm actually going to cancel.
Call finished. Returning to RealSam.
Once again, I canceled because I do not want to take somebody's time for the demo. Hope you guys are okay with that. But it's as simple as that. Just tap, ask for Be My Eyes, and then a volunteer will come up and you're going to be able to work with them as the same way that I know you guys have been used to working with volunteers with Be My Eyes on other phones and with the app. We also have in the tools, we have reminders. We have sort of a personal assistant or reminder. A lot of people are used to maybe talking to Alexa, asking Alexa for the weather, the time, things like that. You can do all that with RealSam. So I'm going to tap on the tap to talk and say, what's the weather?
The weather is 46 degrees. Clear. Today's minimum 42 degrees and maximum 53 degrees. The forecasts are today's sky.
Exit.
Cancel. Happy to talk again whenever you like.
So it's giving me my forecast. How does it know? Because I have Wi-Fi and I have the SIM card and it knows my location. So if I wanted to know what the forecast is for you guys that are in Baltimore, I can say, what's the weather in Baltimore, Maryland?
Please wait while I find the coordinates for Baltimore, Maryland. The weather in Baltimore, Maryland, United States, is 35 degrees, clouds. Today's minimum 31 degrees and maximum 38 degrees. The forecasts are today scatter.
Exit.
Okay, it's canceled.
Well, first of all, you guys are welcome to come. It's nicer here than over there. So we have sunny skies. So you guys are welcome. But I don't know if you noticed something. When I tap to talk, we hear a sound. And that is letting us know that the phone is ready to hear your command or your answer. So if you tap to talk and don't hear that, then, maybe the button wasn't there. Maybe the phone is thinking something's going on, but that's going to give you a bit of a hint that the phone is saying, okay, I'm here. I'm ready to listen. What about reminders? We can set reminders. I don't know if you guys are like me, but I forget everything and I need to have post-it notes and I need to have reminders everywhere. So what do? You can just add a reminder and just say, remind me to call the doctor in 20 minutes.
A reminder has been set for 20 minutes.
I'm going to set another reminder. Remind me to tell Jane hello.
I heard. Remind me to tell Jane hello. And cannot process it. Please try again.
well, it couldn't process it because it doesn't take reminders just like that. I needed to let it know when it needs to remind me. So remind me to say hello to Jane in 10 minutes.
A reminder has been set for 10 minutes.
Well, I can't remember now what reminders I have. So list reminders.
You have 2 reminders. 1. You have a timer that will expire in 9 minutes. Say hello to Jane. 2. You have a timer that will expire in 19 minutes. Call the doctor. Say 1 or 2 or to cancel it. For more information, say, help.
Exit.
Okay, it's canceled.
So with reminders, you can have as many reminders as you want. If you need to cancel a reminder, you can just tap to talk and you can either ask it to list the reminders again and tell it which one to cancel by selecting it from the list. Or I could just say, I can just tap and say, cancel the reminder about Jane. And it's going to cancel that reminder because it knows I used the word reminder and I used the word Jane, and both of those are attached. And so it's going to know that that's the reminder that needs to be canceled. So along with reminders, along with lists and being able to give us the time, the weather, all this information, I can also find out, what's around me. Where am I? Maybe I'm going to Baltimore again and I have no idea where I'm at. So I want to know. I can tap and say, where am I?
You are close to 6,520 Tombstone Ridge Road, Timnit, Colorado.
Exit.
Thank you. What's next?
I just realized, can my phone number and address be taken off the recording? If you're going to put it in YouTube, please. Anyway, so that's, tap on it. It's going to continue giving me information about my location. If I heard enough, I just tap on it again and it knows to stop, or I just use the word cancel or exit. To me, those are the best ways to make sure that the phone resets to just its ready position. So it's just waiting for your commands. With that said, I can also drop some pins. So I can just enable outdoor locations. And once the outdoor locations are enabled, I can drop different pins. So I can drop a pin and say, this is the park. And I can drop another pin. This is, favorite Starbucks. And you're going to be able to recover those pins as you're walking and you have outdoor locations set. It will remind you that you're getting close to those pins that you have already dropped. Okay. So as far as tools, we've gone over several different tools, but what, sorry, my RealSam, my other RealSam is feeling lonely. So now we're going to talk about magnifier. We have a magnifier included with the phone. The magnifier not only functions as a standard magnifier, but it also has OCR recognition, object recognition, and it has text recognition, including handwriting recognition. So what do I do if I want magnifier? What's the magic word? I tap to talk and say magnifier.
Magnifier starting.
So with the magnifier, right now it's a little bit hard to see. We will soon have a change to make it a lot easier to operate. But there's certain buttons on screen that are important. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll with my finger around the border of the screen, and it's going to tell me what the different buttons are.
Turn on flash. Zoom in. Freeze. Zoom out. Exit. Focused.
So if I want to just use it as a magnifier, I can turn it around where I see there, you can see me. I can turn it around and I can use my finger to increase or decrease what's on the screen so I can get a better look at it. Or I can take a picture and have the OCR tell me what it is. So I'm going to do one of both. I'm going to write a message here. And I'm just going to show you guys. I'm not going to.
Focused. Frozen.
So I took a picture of a note I wrote. It says, "Hi, Jane." I'm going to go to
Show
actions.
Sending your request. Images processing. Processing finished. The text in the image is Jane.
So it did not capture the "Hi, Jane," but I was able to freeze the text, take a picture of the text, freeze it, go to the top in the middle where a new button now appears and says action. And I can either select text recognition or object recognition. I selected text recognition and I took a picture of a handwritten message. It read Jane, it did not read hi. Honestly,
The text in the image is Jane. Unfreeze.
So aside from being able to read text on a computer and another screen on a piece of paper, why is this useful for you to have it? So I have some medicine here, and I'm not suggesting that you use this for all your medicine. However, if I
Frozen.
don't know what I have,
Show actions. Sending your request. Images processing. Processing finished. The text in the image is NDC 3014-066-09 Kroger 24 Allergy Relief Hour Loratadine Duplets USP 10 mg antihistamine Indoor and outdoor Relief of Allergies. Unfreeze.
so now I know this is my allergy medicine that I can take. I think it does a very good job at reading what's on the bottle and at pronouncing what the bottle says. So you can have clear information on the type of medication that you have in your hands. So what about object recognition? I'm going to take a picture.
Frozen.
And I'm
Show
going to go
actions.
to action.
Hide. Text detect object. Sending your request. Images processing. Processing finished. The objects in the image are computer hardware, electronics, hardware, monitor, screen, table, computer, laptop, magnifier exited.
So that was very interesting because I took a picture of something that was going on my computer screen, on my other computer screen. And what I have on my other computer screen is the list of commands that I had promised to send Jane. And when I asked for the phone to do a recognition, I requested object recognition instead of text recognition. And by requesting object recognition, it told me what was there, but it did not read what was on the screen because I didn't ask it to. I could have done the opposite and asked it to read what was on the screen, but it does know how to differentiate between the
Say
two.
hello to Jane.
See, I'm getting I don't know if you guys heard, but I guess 10 minutes have passed and now I'm getting a reminder to say hello to Jane. So hi, Jane. So with that said, there's a lot of other tools that we can use. I do want to tell you guys.
Say hello to Jane. 22 seconds late.
Hi, Carmen.
Hi, Jane. Up. So we're running out of time. With the phone, with the voice command, you can ask it to have it speak faster, speak slower, change the voice. You can tap on it and ask it to power off. You can also ask it to extend ring time. So a lot of people tell me, hey, I need it to ring a little bit longer because I can't get to it quickly enough. So you can extend the ring time. You can also have it have the volume of the conversation and of everything else be higher. And so there's a command for that as well. And all that's coming on the list of commands. The one area that I did skip over, but I'm just going to highlight it, is all of our entertainment. So we have 4 different book libraries. We have over 1,000 podcasts. We have a newspaper and we have radio stations. So let's say I just want to listen to BBC Radio, just to give you guys an idea. I tap and say, listen to BBC Radio.
Listing radio stations to select from first 5 of 16. 1. BBC Radio Sheffield, Sheffield. 2. BBC World Service News. 3. BBC Radio Scotland MW Falkirk. 4.
Number 3.
Sorry, I didn't get that.
Number 3.
What did you say again?
Number 2.
Selected BBC World Service News and now playing.
Countries where people do not speak English as their first language, a lot of them are global stuff. And in those countries,
Exit.
I heard. Exact. And cannot process.
Exit.
Thank you. What's next?
Listen to jazz music.
Listing radio stations to select from first 5 of 76. 1. Smooth Jazz. 2. Jazz Club.
Number 1.
Selected Smooth Jazz and now playing.
Exit.
Thank you. What's next?
So you can select music by type of radio station, type of music. You can select news outlets. You can select local radio stations. So there's a variety of options, and all that is incorporated into the phone. Same way with the different books. You can just select, you can ask it to read books by Mark Twain, or you can ask for a specific title, and it's going to give you all the options. A lot of people ask for, they tell me, hey, one of the things that I've missed is reading the Bible. You can have that here as well. There's different versions, and you can save it onto your bookshelf so it's always available for you. So I think that for now, that I'm just going to open it up for questions. It does connect to Bluetooth and it does connect to Wi-Fi, and it's very simple to connect. But I know that I'm leaving a lot of items that are uncovered. But I do want to know what you guys what questions you have. And Jane, I see your hand up.
Yeah, Carmen, I just want to remind you, I hope that you remember that we have you on for Thursday as well. So maybe we'll be able to dive into this a little bit more on Thursday. Is that still
Mhm.
going to work for you?
That's still going to work for me. I don't know if we're going to have the same people or not. So that would be great for you guys to let me know, because if a lot of the same people are there, it would be ideal if I could get maybe more detailed questions and we can review them at that time, and I can go over customer portal as well.
That
But
would be-
if not, I do want to answer some questions, because sometimes I forget what could be important to others that I've just skipped over.
Yeah, it will be the same group of people
Okay.
joining us. One thing I did want to ask in addition to that is you were talking about the magnifier getting some updates. Do
Mhm.
those updates automatically happen to the phone, or is there something that you need to do to get those updates?
Those updates are going to be coming soon, and there's going to be several updates, and depending on which update, in some cases, the phone's going to alert you to them. And you're just going to need to tap and say update, just like we do with our other phones. We don't want it to just go and start updating the middle of a conversation or middle of the day when we're going to need it. And in other cases, it will just update, just connect to the server, create a small update, and all of a sudden you're going to have all those features back on your phone.
Okay, thank you. And Vishnu, if you want to call on people, I'll stop talking. Thank you.
I don't see anyone yet, but I do see Naria has unmuted. Are you trying to
Oh.
ask a question?
Yes,
Tiffany
I
has a
am trying to
question.
ask a
Okay.
question.
Oh, go ahead.
Would you go over how to turn the voice on when the phone was not automatically, when I turn it on, it didn't, and I didn't want to interrupt early. So I haven't had a voice at all in the phone here. I know that there is a procedure to get to but if you can't see, you can't get it done. So I have somebody with me. If you could help me to turn that voice on.
Yes, absolutely. You have the phone right there with you?
Yes, she has it right now.
Okay. Hold on. Okay. Is there a tap to talk at the bottom of the phone?
Yes.
Okay. What happens when you tap on it?
It says talk now. And then it says thinking, but then nothing happens.
Okay.
Every time that I had talked, it doesn't respond in anything that, even if, I try to do something that wouldn't require to be connected.
Mm-hmm. So what I'm suspecting is happening is the phone is not connected to the Wi-Fi.
Mm-hmm.
So because the phone probably does not have a SIM card and is also not connected to Wi-Fi, it is not able to get all the commands from the cloud. So if you want to connect the phone to Wi-Fi, you can just tap and say Wi-Fi setup.
Wi-Fi network doors, yes.
We did connect. Okay, thank you, dear.
You're welcome. So,
Yes. Okay, let me do one quick test just to make sure before you
just
leave.
tap and say, what time is it?
Okay, you do. Oh, wait. Down here. Oh my God, what fell down? Okay, so it's not doing it now. When you tap it, it's not. No, it's not doing it, huh? Okay. What time is it?
Did it?
It's
happened?
click, it's sticking.
It's probably still, if it hasn't been connected to Wi-Fi for a while, it's connecting to servers and it's downloading information for
Okay.
now.
Have any further
So-
problems, I'll ask you next time.
Okay, but I would suggest
Thank you.
just when it's done, just tap on it and ask, what time is it? And that's usually how I test it to know whether it's ready connecting and it's good to go.
What we'll do is we'll take a few more questions and then at the end we can come back to Naria to double check.
Perfect.
Okay.
Keep trying on that, Naria. Well, we can take question from Tiffany. Tiffany?
Actually, yes, I was having the same problem. I did figure out how to get the Wi-Fi networks up, but the orientation for the letters and numbers are in landscape, correct?
What can you be more specific? Is that
The keyboard for the letters, do they go across the screen horizontally, or do they go across the screen like lengthwise or widthwise? That's what I was trying to figure out.
they go widthwise.
Okay, okay. The other question I have, that was a great presentation, by the way.
Thank you.
Yes. And the other question I have is, so everything on this phone is cloud-based. You can't issue any commands without it being connected to Wi-Fi or having a SIM card?
For the most part, yes, correct.
Okay, okay. And if you could go over how do you get some sort of auditory signals when you turn the phone on or off, and how do you turn the phone off? Because when I hold down the button on the side, it says locked or unlocked, but it doesn't give the option to power off.
Perfect. Thank you for asking. There's a lot of different ways. So one of them is you just tap the talk, and even with the tap to talk, there's going to be two different ways it can behave. So I'm going to tap, power off.
I am powering off now. Tap the top button during the beeps to cancel. Power off, cancel.
So there's two different settings. You can have it beep until powers off, or if you tap and say power off, it could also be on the setting that says tap to confirm. I like the beeps, so I don't have to tap to confirm, but those are some of the ways you can power off, or you can go to the L menu.
Showing main menu, move your finger around the screen until you hear the item you want and then release.
And then the second from the bottom is power off.
Done. Exiting menu.
And so you can highlight that and it will power off. The same way, and I'm glad you just pointed something out, because I do get from people, how do you lock the screen? And they will just hold the button down and nothing will happen.
Locked.
But if you hold it down and almost count to 3,
Unlocked.
the phone will lock or unlock. Those are good questions.
Thank you, thank you. And when you turn it on, does it give an auditory signal or some type of vibration to let you know that the phone is actually on? Besides
It
the
does.
screen. Okay.
It does. What I'm going to do is I'm going to power off my other phone. Power off.
Device unplugged. Battery is 100%. Power off, cancel.
Oh, power off.
You have requested power off. Tap the top button to confirm or the volume up button to cancel.
Oh. See, I always forget So it's powering off. And then if I want to power on, I'm just going to hold it. For a few seconds. And it's going to vibrate in my hands. Just holding it, it's doing some updating. If you guys are able to see the screen and it goes through different faces, just know that what it's doing is it's updating.
Welcome to RealSam Pocket by RealThing AI.
So it just welcomed you to RealSam Pocket, and that's how you know that
I am now connected to Wi-Fi network Chipajay.
so it's going to give you the information that it's ready, it's connected to the network, everything's good. Betsy, you have a question.
I do. Is there a actual menu to get to entertainment communication for someone who's sighted, or do you just do that through voice?
Welcome to RealSam Pocket
Sorry.
by RealThing AI.
There is, I'm thinking because there's a couple ways, and there are a couple ways I could respond to that. So one of them is, yes, you just get to it via voice. So you can tap and say, read a book, and it can guide you through all different book libraries, everything you have, and it'll give you all the different options. However, and one of the things I want to cover next meeting in today's is how you can access that via the customer portal. So you can select books and put them in your bookshelf. So they're there for, you know, when you just want to bring a book up, all you have to do is just go to your bookshelf.
Okay, but like for visual aids, is there a menu? I mean, say you have somebody with you who is sighted.
Mhm.
Can they like open up a visual aid for you by looking at a menu like the regular the standard menu when you do the L? No.
No, no,
Okay.
it's all via voice.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Betsy. Do we have any other questions?
Not so far. Looks like you really gave everyone a good insight into this.
Okay.
If you don't have any questions, I think we can go ahead and start.
Hello.
Oh, looks
Hi.
like you have a question. Go ahead.
Yeah, hi. This is
This is
Ansel.
Ansel? Yes.
Yes. Okay, so you have the option for book reading.
Mhm.
Do you have access to NLS books?
I'm smiling because we often get that. We do not have that right now. We will have that in the near future. As a company, we're doing a project with them, and so we're not allowed to incorporate it right now as one of the book sources. But
Okay.
in the near future, we will be able to add it as an app, and shortly thereafter incorporated.
Okay, and so if a user wanted to install, a particular app that they may be interested in, I guess it's not an option to simply install it.
That's a very good question, because that I didn't cover that. However, at the moment, we are not able to install additional apps. And I highlight that by saying at the moment, because that's something that we're working on. What we're trying to kind of control a little bit is we often get people saying we need a phone that's simple, just voice operated, that does the basic with a little bit more. And then people want all different apps, and we don't want to become then, you know, something that other phones do have. And it's hard to know, you know, kind of what's the threshold.
Mhm.
However, we will be allowing other apps in the near future. There's going to be very specific apps that will be added, or you, as a user, you can choose to add. We welcome any and all suggestions, because we do look through those to figure out which ones we should focus on initially.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, because I believe you have BeMyEyes already on there, which is an important one.
Yes. Yes.
Um,
And it's not, so here is something important. BeMyEyes, it's incorporated into our phone. It's seamless. All you have to do is tap and say BeMyEyes. So it's not installed as an additional app that you have to go and scroll through the phone to find it and then access it and, you know, use the gestures that just BeMyEyes wants you to use. It's incorporated into our phone. So
all right.
those are two different things, but just to let you know, we are working on being able to add apps.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your question.
Mhm.
All right. If we don't have any questions, I think we should wrap the session up today. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording. Once again, I would like to thank everyone for joining us with today's session.